So we're here in beautiful Girardota in Colombia, on the outskirts of Medellin. It's more or less the countryside. Here with Keenan. He's a digital nomad, or he's not location dependent. Works anywhere he wants to work in the world. And here we go. So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how you found yourself in Colombia.
Okay, so how I arrived in Colombia was a bit of a journey to get here. Basically, when I graduated from university in Canada and close to Toronto, I had graduated with a business degree. I didn't plan on using that for anything really. I got into university kind of thinking that I wanted to understand the mentality of the modern world, and kind of more from a philosophical perspective, wanting to know what it is that runs the world. And I figured, well, business is what runs the world, so I need to understand what this mentality is that's behind everything. Soon enough, I realized when I got into university that there wasn't really much of a mentality behind it at all, and the business school was more just kind of theory and a lot of stuff that didn't really serve any real purpose in the actual world, and I was very disillusioned in that respect. But met some really great people. Decided from there on that I was not going to work for anybody, and I was going to build my own businesses, and basically, if it didn't work out, or if it did work out, at least I would be free. At least I would be doing what was important to me. So basically, got through university. When I graduated, I had already set up a property that was a student house, a student property. And
this is in Canada?
This was in Canada, yeah. So with that student property, I was able to basically, I got really lucky. It was a string of events and circumstances that took place that really allowed me to kind of take advantage of an opportunity. And I ended up with a property that had 12 bedrooms, and I reformed it, made it into a student property, put someone else in charge of it, and basically when I graduated from university I said, okay, I'm leaving Canada, because just the energy of the place just wasn't what I needed. I needed something more. And so I got a one-way ticket to Bangkok, Thailand, and didn't know where I was going or what I was going to do. I just knew that I needed the journey. So went to Bangkok, got a very skeezy bedroom in like a broken down apartment,
right.
Cockroaches on the floor and stuff, but I was exhausted from my 23-hour flight or whatever it was, and then crashed there. From there on my own for maybe 4 years or so, I was just from country to country, just exploring the world, and with a camera, a laptop, yeah, basically my intuition to guide me. That's all I had at that time.
So what do you do as a digital nomad? What do you actually do to bring in income while you live in this beautiful property in the countryside, which is in proximity to Medellin? How do you fund this? How is it possible?
Okay, so when I first got into Colombia, I had been backpacking down from Guatemala, about 6 months down to get down from Central America into Colombia. I didn't plan on stopping here at all. And I met a beautiful girl who I also had no intentions of getting in a relationship whatsoever.
Right.
I never wanted that. I just always wanted to on my own, solo, just me and the world basically. And I fell in love. It's very easy to do here in Medellin.
Very easy. Very easy.
Very easy. Very beautiful women here, and very sweet and very womanly and very refreshing, the energy that the women have here. It's very different than, say, women from the first world. Not a knock on the first world, but it's just a different culture, different energies, and very refreshing, the energy here. And so yes, fell in love with a paisa, which is a woman from Medellin. The people in Medellin, they're called paisas. And so basically that's where the story began of setting up here. I realized, like, I was living fine off of my income from my rental property in Canada, but very quickly I started thinking, well, if I want to do all these other things that I plan, and maybe start building something with this girl, and at the time she had a 1-year-old son, and very quickly I kind of took on the father role there. Basically entered into a family.
Okay.
Right? And so realized I needed some more income.
Right.
Right. So although we could make by with what I had,
right,
but obviously you always want to be living to the standard of life that, you know.
I mean, you're living well, man.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So basically we started. We rented an apartment, and basically put it on Airbnb. We were living in it and just renting out a couple other bedrooms, and basically just paying that rent.
Right.
But I took a look at the model, and it looked very similar to like what I was doing in Canada with the student properties, and I was like, well, why don't I just scale this? This could be good.
Right.
And at the time, I was just renting, so basically, technically, it was illegal.
Right.
Because I was subletting without permission.
Right.
Right. But
and just for clarification, sorry to cut you. Can you? That is officially illegal here in Colombia.
That is illegal. Here the law states that anything under 31 days is tourism activity.
Right.
And if it is a tourism activity, then it has to fall into the hotel industry.
Right.
Which you need to get Registro Nacional de Turismo, which is the tourism registry, which allows you to conduct a hotel service.
Right. So you were hustling basically.
Yeah.
You were hustling.
Yeah. So basically. I told the owner of the apartment that I would have many friends coming and going based on the business that I had, just to kind of cover myself, and there are going to be people coming and going, and that was fine. And that was like 6 years ago or 5 years ago. So things have changed now. Medellin is definitely caught up with what Airbnb is, and now the apartment administration and all of those, like the people, the board of co-owners and stuff like that, they all know what's going on, and in a lot of these apartments there are people running like Airbnbs, and it's illegal.
So you scaled your model from one apartment to several apartments?
Yeah, it was one apartment, and then we went on, opened up several, like each time, basically the investment was very little to get let's say a 3-year lease or something on the apartment. Then invest maybe, I don't know, $10,000 in remodeling it, as nice furniture and stuff like that. And then within a couple months, that investment would have been made back, like half a year or so. And so yeah, started scaling like that and getting nicer and nicer apartments, to the point where I had maybe 4 of them going at a time, and that was good income. But at the same time, there was so many headaches involved with building administration, or like at this property now they're causing problems here, over here, like just putting out too many fires.
Right.
And so I just said, no, this isn't what I'm looking for. Like this isn't the life that I'm meant for. I need to be, without worry in that regard. So I shut pretty much all of them down, and got a house. And because with a house, which is independent property that you can get the hotel registry on, because you can't get it on an apartment. And an apartment you can legally rent out for 31 days or more, but it's hard to find people who are going to be staying for 31 days or more to keep your place filled. So anyways, got a house.
When you say you got a house, you got a mortgage on the house?
No,
or?
we rented a house for a 3-year contract. Basically, really good price. Put the money in to remodel it, but got it all legal and everything. So now no headaches involved. Now we had learned over the couple of years like what was necessary to create like a really cool kind of a boutique hostel, boutique casa hotel.
Yeah.
And so now the model was kind of rock solid. We had gone through all like the pitfalls and seen. So basically, yeah, got that in the apartment beside it as well, and the studio, and that composed the entire building. And basically, yeah, it was now watertight. So
okay.
So yeah, so basically that's how I'm able to, with that income, live the kind of life that I'm interested in. Me and my wife, we just spent a month in Europe as well. Obviously, Europe is more expensive. I wouldn't live there. I was definitely first time being to Europe, and I had always before traveled to countries that were third world countries,
right?
Southeast Asia and stuff like that, because the money goes so much further.
Further, yeah.
And I definitely prefer that. I really appreciated the culture and the architecture and the history of Europe, but just coming back from there, just there a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't live there.
Yeah.
Just because of the price of everything. I was buying a coffee, and I was like, it was cringing to pay the price. It was like $5 or €4 for a coffee, whereas here in Colombia, you're paying like maybe 50 cents,
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean, this is one of the reasons
Yeah.
why I'm trying to get out. So I understand that fully. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment. Even if you're not watching it on YouTube, go over to YouTube, like and subscribe, and leave a comment.